Life could be a dream. Life could be a dream. Do 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 shaboom. Life could be a dream. If I could take you up in paradise up above. If you would tell me I'm the only one that you love. Life could be a dream. Sweetheart, hello, hello again. Shaboom and open we'll meet again. Boom. Ding dong, ding dong, a lang, a lang, a lang. Oh, whoa, whoa, dip, a bib, a dip, whoa.
Last time on the 40s.
We can do it.
During the 1940s, women stepped in while men were away at war. World War II led Americans to save their money due to the rations that were in place, which allowed many Americans to save up their money to be spent in the post-war decade. When we won the war, Americans celebrated and tried to raise their children with more than they had as kids. Women went back to the home and the housewife figure emerged to promote family values.
Girls, will you please turn off that racket? The girls won't stop listening to that awful rock and roll music. When I was a kid, we listened to respectful music.
Rock and roll was everything that the suburban 1950s were not. To the horror of the older generation, teenagers were moving to a new beat. Because of the prosperity in the post-war decade, teenagers were able to purchase records, helping rock and roll define the difference between youth and adulthood.
But Mom, this is what is hip right now. Mom!
Hi, Mom.
Guys, I just got tickets to the Saw.
Oh my gosh, let me see!
We should go. I do not want to go to that lame dance.
I really want to go to that sock hop, but I'm sure I'll never get asked. I know Hannah will be. She always gets asked to stuff, and she doesn't even want to go.
What? Serious? With all those people? No way. You're going. You're going, right? Yeah, okay. Who's going?
He told me very frankly he was going to vote for censure. He said not because of the silly reasons given by the Watkins Committee. He said, but because you labeled the Democrat Party as the party of communism.
You issued an open invitation to the Army.
Communism? I'm not really sure what that is. My husband handles all that, but I'm sure I'll keep my perfect family while he's away.
During the 1950s, the prospect of communism's supervision at home and abroad seemed frighteningly real to many Americans. The fears came to define the era's political culture. The most enduring symbol for this Red Scare was Joseph McCarthy, who spent 5 years trying to expose communists in the U.S. government.
And we're talking about this going on. We're talking about this.
Guess where I'm going? The drive-in.
Oh my god, with a boy?
I would never do that.
I hope you're not planning on seeing that new movie.
I've never seen it before. It's called Cinderella. It just came out.
On February 15, 1950, Walt Disney released the American animated musical fantasy film known as Cinderella. It took 6 years to make and became one of Disney's best-loved films.
Oh my god, she's such a rebel.
I'd never do that without my parents' permission. I can still hear you.
The outgoing car culture society that thrived during the 1950s spawned an explosion of drive-in theaters across the United States. The car-happy generation saw outdoor movies as a way to enjoy their favorite pastime.
We're going to the diner and we'll probably see Jackson there because he's always there, and that's the only reason Grace ever wants to go.
I'm so excited we're going to the diner. I hope we see Jackson.
I know, it's so great. It really is. It's hot and the food is great.
In the 1950s, many diners reinvented their image so new customers would come. New diners opened up in the suburbs because many people were moving there from the big cities. Jukeboxes and soda fountains were put in so teens would want to hang out there after school.
Hey there, doll. How about you and me go to the drive-in?
No way. He was cute, but I'm hard to get.
Oh my god, do you have polio? It's just a cold.
In the early 1950s, polio had become one of the most serious communicable diseases among children in the United States. In 1952 alone, nearly 60,000 were infected, thousands were paralyzed, and more than 3,000 died. On March 26, 1953, Jonas Salk announced the polio vaccine.
Oh, Mom, you're talking to us a lot about the Cold War at school. They said that if you see the light, you need to duck and cover.
No, girls, we really shouldn't talk about the Cold War. That's what we're meant to talk about, not us girls. They don't care about our opinion.
The tension between the United States and the Soviet Union, known as the Cold War, was another defining element of the 1950s. After World War II, many Western leaders began to worry that the USSR and the spread of communism anywhere threatened the democracy and capitalism everywhere. As a result, communism needed to be contained by whatever force was necessary.
Can I pay with the credit card?
Ooh, of course, sweetie. It's new. We just got it last year.
Mom, why don't we have a credit card?
I wish I had a credit card, but the only reason she has one is because of her husband's business.
The Diners Club started with a man named Frank McNamara forgetting his wallet when he was out to dinner one night and thinking of an alternative to cash. By 1951, there were 20,000 cardholders, and in 1959, American Express introduced a card made of plastic.
Mother's got a hairdo to be done.
Well, our hair at this time is very important because if my hair isn't perfect, my husband will get upset with me.
She says they're too old for toys.
We want our children to be perfect because everyone else in society's children are just perfect. And people say that we're a conformist society, but I don't think we are. I think we're perfect.
In this suburban hell, back in the distance, a police car to break the suburban spell.
Even though it seems like a perfect society, the 1950s is not all that. There's a lot of violence and backlash in our society. I mean, obviously.
To blame the color TV.
We just got our color TV and it shows how much money and class we have because not a lot of people have them right now.
In suburbia.
The title of the song really represents the decade because after the war, many people were wanting to move away from the decaying cities and move to the Levittown suburban areas.
Come on, baby, let's do the twist. Take me by my little hand and go like this. Yeah, twist, baby, twist. Ooh.
Polka dots and kitten heels were very popular among 1950s housewives. A-line skirts and button-up tops were very popular among 1950s teenagers. Red heels and leather jackets were the norm for greasers. Housewives also wore modest tops and hoop skirts. Print mixing and sweater vests were also popular among 1950s preps.
Life could be a dream, life could be a dream. Do, 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 shaboom. Life could be a dream if I could take you up in paradise up above. If you would tell me I'm the